Hello, it's your friendly neighbourhood maths teacher here to give you a quick maths lesson about probability. So what do we understand probability to mean in real life as well as in maths? Probability is the likelihood of an event taking place. It's the chance of something happening. You could talk about the probability of a horse winning a horse race. You could talk about the probability of it raining today. Spoiler alert, it is. We talk a lot about worded probability in functional skills using ideas like likely, unlikely, even chance, certain or impossible. Let's have a look at some examples on this next slide. Okay, so for each of these scenarios you can say it's either impossible, unlikely, even chance, likely or certain. Okay, what is the probability you will visit space? It's not impossible, nothing's impossible, the planet's slowly exploding. But it is unlikely within our lifetime. Or maybe I'm wrong, who knows? Shoot for the stars. What is the probability Christmas happens on the 25th of December? That is certain, it's the same every year. What's the probability you roll more than a 2 on a fair dice? More than a 2 on a fair dice. I've written even chance on here. That's wrong. That's a deliberate mistake. Ignore that. It's likely, because you've got 4 options. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we'd say that's likely, not even chance. What's the probability you'll see a pig with wings today? That sadly is impossible. And what's the probability you roll a 7 on a fair 6-sided dice? That's impossible as well. There are no 7s. Okay? As we progress towards GCSE, we move on to this idea where we think about probability as a fraction, a decimal, or a percentage. Okay, we can write it as any of them, but we start to think about probability as an actual quantifiable number. Okay, you see it when you look at weather forecasts in terms of the actual chance of it raining. You'll say there's a 20% chance of rain, okay, which means there's an 80% chance it won't rain because it has to add up to 100%. Okay, so if we look at some more examples, what's the probability you roll a 2 on a 6-sided dice? It has nothing to do with the number 2, first of all. There is 1 2 on a dice out of 6 options. So your probability is 1 out of 6. Okay, 1 option out of 6. It's the option you want out of how many total options there are. That's how we measure probability. What's the probability you roll at least a 2? So what does it mean by at least a 2? If I say you're playing Monopoly, you're in jail, you have to roll at least a 2 to get out of jail. That means you could roll a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5 or a 6. 5 options out of 6. That's your probability, 5 out of 6. You roll an even number on a fair 6-sided dice. How many even numbers are there? 2, 4, 6. 3 options out of 6, that's your probability. You roll a prime number. What's a prime number? Who knows? A prime number is a number that can only be divided by itself and 1. It doesn't have anything else that goes into it. Examples are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Not all of those are on a dice. The ones that are on a dice would be 2, 3 and 5. Again, 3 options out of 6. What's the probability if you toss a fair coin that you'll get heads rather than tails? 1 option out of 2. Half chance. Okay? That is how we start to think about probability. Have a go at some of the probability questions I have linked in the description down below. Let me know how you get on, and as always, ask if you have any questions.